All right. So here we are again. I'm doing a melee walkthrough. This is not a guide. If you want a detailed guide, please look at any of the other wonderful content creators and resources online for a detailed guide on all the details of this fight. I'm just doing a melee walkthrough to use as kind of a reference. So, I want this to be a lot faster than my M2S video. So I'm going to try and pause less if I can manage it, but here we go. We're doing normal strategies for this one. We're going to do Mario Kart, Brain Dead Beat 2, and Clock Deformations. We'll talk about that as we go. Here we go. So I am Melee 2 again in this video. See if we can get this under 20 minutes. There's a lot of memory games in this one, and I'm bad at remembering those. But we'll see if I can remember to mention them even during this little walkthrough. So, Drop of Venom. There's going to be two, well, actually more than two. But if you see the word drop, that means that you need to have two-person pairs. And if you see the word splash, that means you're going to have to spread. So she's telling us it's going to be a pairs coming up. The best thing to do is to write it in chat. All right, beeline. Beeline is basically just going to be a line going through the map. You're going to be safe at max melee range on the sides, and then after that, you're going to have to go into where it exploded because the sides of the room are going to explode. So I go max melee, and it was drop, so it's pairs. So me and my buddy are gonna stack and take that two-person. There we go. So Splash of Venom, that means that it is a spread. Okay, Tempting Twist. So basically, it's gonna be a donut. So we want to be inside, and then you're gonna have to look at intercard. I'm Melee 2, so my intercard is 3. And it's going to be a bunch of circles, but basically, like, there's going to be safe spots on the intercards, and we're going to have to spread. So we have the donut. Goes off. And then because it was splash and not drop, we're going to spread. And you have a second to kind of adjust a little bit. Stinging Slash is just a tank buster. There's two different types of tank busters. There's this one, which is two big cones, and then there's a red two-person tank buster stack. I believe it's random which one it is. Beat 1. Beat 1 can be a little weird. Okay, outer stage combo. It's going to be an outer stage combo and center stage combo. So outer, you start out. Center, you start in. You're always going to go in between these lines. So you see these lines here? You're always going to be in between those. And again, if it's outer stage, you're going to be max melee. Because it's going to be like a point-blank AoE. Outer stage is always going to be on a cardinal. And then after that, you're always going to go to an intercardinal. And then you're always going to go to the center. And then center stage is the exact opposite. You start here and you go backwards in that same order. Swatch. Then we go to the cardinal. I would say be wary of all the different party finder markers, because you can see, like, it looks like this one's almost, I don't know if this one is on the marker or if it's slightly inside the marker. There's a whole bunch of different markers people are using for this fight, so kind of don't trust them. And then we have soaks. So I'm sure you've noticed that there's hearts everywhere on people's heads. You can make a lot of different rules for this. Like, I've had some people say if you have, if you start with 2, you don't take any towers. all those rules don't really matter. Basically, ideally, we want 4 people with 2 hearts at the end and 4 people with 3 hearts at the end. And ideally, you're going to start in your quadrant. So since I'm M2 and my clock is 3, my quadrant is going to be here, and I'm going to take all of the melee ones in this quadrant, ideally. Now, weird stuff can happen. This is Party Finder, so you might need to YOLO it a little bit. Like, there's been groups where I've taken a far-ranged one and lose downtime. It happens. But this one's in melee range, and I have no hearts, so I'm going to take it. Yep, and you can see people range and healers are going to take the far ones. I get another melee one. And as long as you stay generally around your quadrant, it's generally going to be okay. Like, it'll work out. Again, if you need to YOLO something, YOLO something. I believe this person accidentally took an extra heart somewhere, so they might be a little bit screwed, but we'll find out in a second. I'm still not tired of this song. Okay, so here's what's going on. Love Me Tender is going to be a stack. Now, people with 2 or less hearts, they are going to need to go into the stack marker, the pink stack marker that's going to appear. The stack marker is always going to go on whoever is has the fewest amount of hearts, and if the fewest amount is 2 and lots of people have 2, it's just going to be a random one. Generally speaking, you want to bring the stack marker south of the boss. In this run, they don't do that. So again, it's Party Finder, so you got to be able to adjust. You're just going to have to find it and go to them. So in this run, they actually went north. So I had to adjust and go north. Someone got 4 hearts there. It's not ideal. The boss gets healed by 1% every time that's happened. And here we have center stage combo. So we start in between the 2 marks, but now we're going to be close. We're going to go out to the intercard, and then we're going to go to the side. So it's the opposite of what it was before. And the boss is going to hit a little bit harder because she has a stack. It's not ideal, but especially this late into the tier where people have gear, like it's fine. You can mess up a few times and you'll be okay. Coffee. Stinging Slash, another Tank Buster. And then we're going to do Mario Kart. So Alarm Pheromones. Mario Kart means that we're all going to start north, and we're going to rotate one way or the other. It depends on where the lines are going to spawn. But basically, we're going to try and bait as many of the lines. The lines are going to target a player. They're going to spawn randomly. So, it's not perfect Mario Kart. Like, you can get screwed over. Let's just play it out. I've seen some other strategies, like quote-unquote uptime strategies for this, where they try and manage the randomness. At the end of the day, you're just going to have to use your eyes and not get hit. Sometimes you can get screwed, especially if like everyone goes in different directions. Things can get wild, but you're just going to have to do your best. This was a pretty clean Mario Kart, and if you get into a really bad position, you can hit your knockback resist, and I think you get a damage down, but you don't get shoved into the wall and die. So if you feel like you're in a really bad spot, just hit your knockback resist. Beat 2 is really easy. If you have no hearts, you stack south. If you have 1 heart, you stack north. The no hearts are going to rotate around the boss, dodging AoEs that spawn underneath them, and as long as you stay clumped, you will take the party stack that is going to spawn under one of you. The people with the 1 hearts, they're going to have to either run out with an AoE or take a tower. Okay, so let's take a look at this here. So you can see that we just went around the boss. We took the 4-party stack, and now all of us have 2. The people that started with 1 heart, some of them are going to have this AoE over here, and the people who don't have 1 are going to take the towers. Generally speaking, as a DPS, I usually take the one that's more north that way. I think in this clear, there was some confusion because you see both of them over here. Should be 1 support, 1 DPS. And I think the support ends up flexing. Yeah, the healer flexes and go north. Generally, it's the DPS that goes that way. All right, tempting twist. And I did it again. I was so... before this section even started, she did a drop or a splash. And that told us whether it was a stack or a spread for this. So you need to remember what that is. It's a stack. The best thing you can do is just write it in chat. If one person just types it in chat, that will save a lot of wipes. And usually I would do it, but I was kind of just like in a whatever mode when I was doing this. So I didn't type it. I would just like in my head, I would repeat spread, 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 spread. That was a drop. So we remember that one. It's going to be pairs next. All right, this alarm pheromones is way easier. So everyone, 1 at a time, 1 support and 1 DPS at a time is going to get a marker above their head. They're right there. And these lines, they're going to shoot big lines going in the direction they're pointing, right? So what that means is there's going to be a safe spot, basically like a safe box somewhere around there. And we're going to have to drop this AoE, because it drops a puddle somewhere around here. And everyone who doesn't have that just stays in the middle. There we go. You see there's safe boxes to drop the stuff. And then someone else is going to get the marker. So you just have to look at your character, see if you get the marker. And just keep doing that. The lines are going to shift every time it goes off. It's not hard. Like once you see it once, like it's like, whatever. And then once you drop yours, you're done. You can just stay in the middle, make sure you don't get clipped. All the DPS are going to be a little bit south, all the support's going to be a little bit north for these stacks. Super easy. Stinging Slash is a tank buster. And if you remember, it was drop before. Before this even started, she put a drop in her pocket, so that means that this is going to be a stack. So it's a normal beeline, and then we're going to stack with our buddies. Still not tired of the song. All right, Honeybee Live 3. Did she do a third beat? Okay, it's a spread. So now she's, I don't know why they changed the name of it in the middle of the fight, but spread means we're gonna spread at the end. Oh, okay, so third beat, you actually need to look at your debuff. So you're gonna get a long or short debuff. If it's 40 something seconds, it's long. If it's 20 something seconds, it's short. If it's short, after the next dodge, you're gonna go to your clock positions and all the way out. And if you're not doing that, you're going to stack in the center and then take a tower. So we'll let that play out. So we know we're going to spread at the end. We're going to have an outer stage or a center stage. Dodge us exactly the same way. And then after this, the people with the short debuffs go out to their clocks and all the way out. Everyone else stacks center. Because you can see these explosions. These explosions are huge, right? So there's just a little bit of safe spot in the middle. Now from here, remember I am M2, so my clock is 3. My quadrant is this quadrant, because this is 3 right here. So there's going to be a soaking tower here, or it's going to be here. So whichever one is in my quadrant, that's the one I'm going to take. So as soon as these explosions go off, I'm just going to go and take this tower. I can still hit the boss from here. Take the tower, and then if it was an outer stage before, it's going to be a center stage now. Do exactly the same. And if you notice, I only got 4 seconds left on my debuff. So I go straight to my clock and all the way out. So I'm clock 3 and I go all the way out. I explode, and it's the other person's turn to do what we just did. Tempting twist. Now, if you remember, it was spread. So we're going to spread with this. It looks like someone got hit. My. Oh wait, no, we're fine. Everything's good. I thought they got hit, but they didn't. All right, and we're at Enrage. This is a very long Enrage sequence. With Tank Buster, then it's going to be the long Enrage sequence. You're going to get debuffs, and if I recall, this pull was scuffed here. People didn't mitigate, so people died needlessly, but we're so far ahead it doesn't matter. So Rotten Heart's going to come out. This is going to give everybody debuffs and do a lot of damage. So as you saw, a few people died just to damage. Like, they died and they died. We just didn't mitigate. I'm going to ignore that for the sake of this walkthrough. What you want to look at is your debuff. This is really easy. So all you're going to do is you're going to be at your clock position. I am 3, so I'm going to sit at my clock position. And once this debuff turns into 7 seconds left, I'm going to go in the center. And there's going to be one other person with my same timer, they're going to go in the center. You're going to merge and explode, and then you're going to go back to your clock position, and that's it. That's literally it. There's nothing else to do. Other than that, it's just mitigate the hits and heal the hits. This takes a while. So you actually have a lot of time. Like, we're way ahead on the damage, but you have tons of time. You can get through like 10% of the boss's health just in this sequence or something. Maybe more, I don't know. It's a little scuffed in our run, but see, I have 7 seconds left. I'm in the center. I think someone was late, but we merge. I explode, I go back to my spot, and that's it. You just repeatedly do that. Just look at your debuff. You don't need to worry about anybody else's. Once your debuff is at 7, you go in, you merge, you go out. And other than that, it's just mitigate and heal, and you'll get the kill. I don't think this is a difficult fight. It's just there's a little bit of randomness in the beginning of the fight with beat 1 and Alarm Pheromones 1, where the RNG of it makes things a little spicy, but usually in Party Finder, if I get past those 2 mechanics, the rest of the fight is easy. The only thing that's going to happen other than that is someone forgets if it's a stack or if it's a spread, which if someone's typing it in chat, then that solves that. And what will happen sometimes is when you go out with your deformations, when you go out with the to your clock positions and all the way out, there are a few different strategies for that to kind of muddy the waters and confuse it. Like, there's a strategy where you stay on your color, and then when you're done with it, you go out all the way to whatever you was. And that means that you might spread to a different spot every pull. Don't do that strategy. Just do clocks. That just simplifies everything. If you do clock deformations, that means you always go to the same spot every pull, so there's not any confusion. It's just a better strategy. Always go to clocks. All right. So was this faster? This was a little bit faster. I'm going to try and make sure these videos aren't too long. I still got 2 more to go. If this was helpful, please let me know in the bottom. Bye.